Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I am going to show you all how to be a millionaire. Today I am going to show you how to make very simple Keto Millionaire Shortbread, also known as caramel squares. And for those of you who don't know what millionaire shortbread is, it's basically a layer of shortbread, a layer of caramel, a layer of chocolate. Very, very, very good. And if you want a printable version of this, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And if you'd like to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So, while we do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Line an 8x4-inch loaf pan with parchment paper and allow the paper to overhang just a little bit so you can easily lift out the squares once they're done. In a large mixing bowl, combine 42 grams or around 5 tablespoons of coconut flour, 24 grams or around 2 tablespoons of the granulated sweetener of your choice. I'm using granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can use whatever granulated sweetener you want. You can also adjust the sweetener more or less depending on how sweet you want your shortbread crust. Add 1 gram or around 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 5 grams or around 1 teaspoon of baking powder. If you want to, you can add some dry spices if you're sensitive to coconut flour taste. Sift the dry ingredients all together until everything is fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients. Add 1 large room temperature egg. Make sure it is room temperature so it stirs in more smooth. Stir the egg into the dry ingredients until everything is fully combined and all the dry ingredients have been lightly moistened with the egg. Add 1/4 cup of butter that's been melted and cooled. Make sure it is cooled. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You can adjust the extract more or less depending on how much of a vanilla flavor you want in your shortbread crust. Stir everything all together until you have a moist, crumbly dough. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the dough all to the center of the bowl. Scoop the dough into your prepared loaf pan. Then, using your fingers or the back of a measuring cup, firmly press the dough evenly throughout the bottom of the pan. Make sure it is even and firmly pressed. Use a fork and poke just a few holes in the bottom of the crust. This will just help to avoid the crust from bubbling up. Place the shortbread crust in your preheated oven and bake at 350 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes or until the crust is golden around the edges. For me, 13 minutes was perfect. Everyone's oven is different, so again, you're just looking for a texture to come out clean and for the crust to be lightly golden around the edges. Once the crust is done baking, remove it from the oven and set it aside for a minute while we make the caramel. For the caramel, place a small saucepan over medium-low heat. Then combine 22 grams or around 2 tablespoons of coconut cream and 5½ ounces of keto chewy caramel squares. Depending on the brand and the size of your caramel squares, it can be anywhere from 17 to 26 pieces. So it's really best to weigh this out. 5½ ounces is what you're looking for. Stir the caramel and the cream together constantly over medium-low heat until the caramels are completely melted and you have a smooth mixture. This can take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes depending on how hot your stove is. For me, it took 7 minutes. As I always say, everyone's oven and stoves are different, so you're just looking for the caramel to be melted and completely smooth. Once the mixture is completely smooth, remove it from the heat and carefully spoon the melted caramel over the cooled shortbread crust. Be very careful because the caramel will be very hot and the pan will be very hot, so be very careful. Also, make sure you try to get the caramel as even as you can over the shortbread crust. Once the caramel's evenly spread, set the pan aside for a minute and let it sit while we make the chocolate layer. In a small microwave-safe bowl, place 3 ounces or around a half cup of the keto milk chocolate chips of your choice. Microwave on high for about 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, use a fork and stir the chips around. They most likely will not be completely melted yet. So once they're stirred, place it back in your microwave for another 15 to 20 seconds or until the chocolate chips are completely melted and smooth. For me, 45 seconds was perfect. Everyone's microwave is different. So you're just looking for the chips to be melted and completely smooth. Make sure you stir the chips after every 15 to 20 second interval so you do not burn your chocolate chips. Once the chocolate's melted, carefully spoon the melted chocolate over the caramel layer. Again, try to get this as even as possible. Also, a little tip, make sure as soon as you're done with your pan that has the caramel in it and your dishes that have the melted chocolate in them, make sure you put them in hot water as soon as you can to avoid the residue from hardening up on you. It just makes for a lot easier of a cleanup if you just toss it in hot water as soon as you empty the pan in the bowl. Once you have the chocolate evenly spread, place the shortbread in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes or until it is firm. Once the shortbread is firm, remove it from the oven, grasp the overhanging parchment paper, and lift the slab onto a clean cutting surface. Then cut the shortbread into your desired squares. Now, after the shortbread has been refrigerated, you might feel that the caramel's a little bit sticky and hard to cut through. Then you can either let it sit at room temperature for about 5 minutes or just run your knife under warm water and it should cut through really easily. You can eat it immediately, or if you do have any leftovers, store them in an airtight container in the refrigerator for up to 1 week. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.